from the soul with it. Yeah. I would like to debunk this new popular opinion that I'm starting to see circulate throughout sports media, throughout the YouTube community, and various other platforms about who I believe is one of the top 2 greatest players of all time, in my opinion, and that is Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. So there's this notion out here that Kobe Bryant was very disloyal when it was rumored that he wanted to leave the Los Angeles Lakers for the Chicago Bulls back in 2004. Then him doing a one-on-one sit-down interview with Shaquille O'Neal and admitting that he was in fact going to leave the Los Angeles Lakers for the Chicago Bulls. So this gave a lot of Kobe Bryant detractors ammunition to find another way to discredit the 5-time NBA champion. It seems that every time a narrative about Kobe Bryant gets debunked, detractors always look to create a new narrative to discredit Kobe Bryant's greatness. Like they said, Kobe Bryant had Shaq, or Kobe needed Shaq, when Shaq admitted himself that he would get out of shape during the offseason because he knew that he could depend on Kobe. Shaq has admitted to not being as committed as Kobe, and also spoke about the series where he fouled out and Kobe Bryant had to carry the team when he was out. It's said oftentimes that he needed Shaq, but then he turned around and won 2 NBA championships without him. Another narrative that they got is, well, Kobe Bryant stole all of Michael Jordan's moves. So Kobe Bryant responded in an interview revealing that Michael Jordan moves were actually stolen from David Thompson, Jerry West, and Dr. J. And any real basketball expert will tell you the fadeaway jumper was a move done before MJ, but Michael Jordan popularized it. So what exact move did Kobe Bryant steal from MJ? Mainstream media has always seemed to have an agenda to join forces and tear down Lakers legend Kobe Bryant, especially after the 2004 rape case. It seems as though the elites couldn't defeat Kobe mentally on the court, so they did everything they could to defeat him off the court. So let's debunk this new narrative that Kobe Bryant was disloyal for wanting to leave the Lakers for the Bulls. Now let's take it back to 2004. Now note that Shaq already admitted to coming back from the offseason not in shape. Kobe Bryant stated that's what really pissed him off, is that he would be working on his game all summer long and Shaq would be eating quarter pounders from Mickey D's all summer. So with all the off the court feuds and only being presented with what the media put out, what else was said, we don't know. How toxic this partnership became and what was said from both parties behind the scenes. With Shaq and Kobe both butting heads, then Shaq's numbers were already on a decline. He was getting older, and just like Kyrie and LeBron's situation, the little brother became a grown man and stood on his own too. When Kobe came into the league, Shaq had already built the superstar status in Orlando. So Kobe had to come off the bench and earn the keys to the Lakers franchise. With all the feuding on top of Shaq admitting he wanted more money, he was traded. So did Kobe want to prove that he could win without Shaq? Absolutely. Back in 2004, Kobe was a free agent. Shaq was traded July 14th. And Kobe gave a deadline, which was July 15th, to the teams he wanted to sign with. So we could actually end this at Kobe Bryant was going to leave. But did he leave? No. So what is it left to talk about? But since it's this new narrative, let's talk about it. I'll use this analogy. That's like you have a girlfriend or a wife and you working extremely hard to put food on the table, and the work you are doing benefits the both of you and the next generation. And y'all have this argument that's falling out and y'all just not seeing eye to eye to the point where y'all separate for a while. You may not talk, let's say weeks go past, and you might start communicating with other females, and she may communicate with other males to see what they have to offer if the relationship went completely sideways. But you never cheated on her. Then you guys eventually find a way to work things out. Y'all stayed married for 20 years. You know, to me, disloyal, in my opinion, would have been not even giving it time. The next day you leave her and you got somebody else. You're already with somebody else the next day. That's disloyalty to me. The Lakers franchise had to choose, and they chose Kobe over Shaq. So technically speaking, they showed their loyalty to Kobe, and they also made the smart decision. Kobe had Chicago, the Clippers, and a few other teams as a list of teams he wanted to sign with if the Lakers chose not to re-sign him. The reason he wanted to, or should I say, the reason he was going to go to the Chicago Bulls is because he wanted to chase Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is worldly recognized as the greatest player ever, and Kobe Bryant wanted to eclipse that. So if the Lakers didn't show their loyalty to him, especially when he is the one in the gym 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., and they chose the person who's coming in not in shape and their skills are diminishing, and let's say then they'll start losing games. The organization will lose money because fans don't come. That would have been disloyal, especially if, Kobe Bryant was the one who was dedicated to his craft. So let's use Floyd Mayweather Jr. for example. Floyd Mayweather was with HBO since the days he started under his boxing promoter at the time, Bob Arum. So Floyd Mayweather stayed with HBO up until, I believe, 2012 when he went to jail. When he came home, he presented HBO a specific deal he wanted, but they refused. So he went and presented the same deal to Showtime, and they accepted his demands. Next thing you know, he was the highest paid athlete in sports history. And this was before LeBron and KD started to ask for bigger deals in the $200 million range. Floyd Mayweather set the standard for not just boxers, but athletes today. Floyd Mayweather never had any endorsements really throughout his career. Maybe late in his career, he'd take a deal from probably Hublot because he'd do like one big fight, so he'd get a big endorsement. He had maximized his opportunities, but he's never been tied to like a brand, or he's never been, committed to any other brands, or never had any endorsements. So he was able to speak his true feelings about politics or social issues. He didn't have to worry about losing endorsements. But the reason I brought up Floyd Mayweather is to compare to Kobe Bryant. Now, Floyd Mayweather was the reason for all of HBO's success. Him and Oscar De La Hoya had the highest pay-per-view rating under HBO. And Floyd Mayweather always did big numbers because his trash talk and, his flamboyant style, people wanted to see him lose. And he kept the HBO lights on. So during Floyd Mayweather fights, the announcer Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley, who worked, Floyd Mayweather's fights, they also worked for HBO. They would trash Floyd Mayweather and talk bad about him during almost every fight that he had. Even his post-fight interviews, when they would get into the ring, they would trash Floyd Mayweather for the most part. He stayed loyal. He never left. He never complained. When he got out of jail, he was a free agent in 2012. He could have went straight to Showtime and not even presented the deal to HBO, but he did. But they didn't show their loyalty, so he left. So moving forward, HBO numbers have declined tremendously since Floyd left. And they just announced that they're no longer going to be showing boxing matches on HBO. So Kobe could have did the same to the Lakers, but he showed his loyalty. And obviously, the Lakers showed their loyalty. They were also business savvy enough to know that Kobe Bryant was the younger and the better player. Like Magic Johnson said, Kobe Bryant was our Michael Jordan. So I would like to speak in the case of LeBron and comparing his first go-around with the Cavaliers and this narrative and, things that they spread, this narrative that's being spreaded, that he gave players power and control of their careers, players power and control of their careers and not have a franchise controlling their destiny and etc. But me, myself, and I believe Kobe as well, obviously believe that, you're loyal to those who are loyal to you. And this is in no way to shade LeBron James. I'm just going to state facts. I know that this is very unpopular in the age of smoke and mirrors and deception, but let's analyze. Back in 2008, 2009, LeBron James had the best team in the NBA. He had the #1 seed 2 seasons in a row. He won MVP 09 and I believe 2010. His coach won Coach of the Year. He went to the finals back in 2007. So I'll just leave it up to the people who argue that LeBron James had zero help. I disagree with that, but that's fine. Let's look at it from Dan Gilbert's perspective. And with how the media is so biased, let's just think logically for a moment. You would say that Pau Gasol and Chris Bosh are similar players. Their numbers about the same and both carried their original teams to the playoffs before Pau Gasol joined Kobe Bryant and before Chris Bosh joined LeBron James in the Miami Heat. Now look at Kevin Love and Chris Bosh. Look at how Kevin Love and Chris Bosh are discredited when it comes to playing with LeBron James as if he had no help. Now, when it comes to Kobe won 2 rings without Shaq, but then they'll say, well, he had Pau Gasol, and they talk about how great Pau Gasol was. But if Pau Gasol was on LeBron James' team back in 2008, 2009, do you really think he would have got his credit? No, because as I stated, Chris Bosh and Pau Gasol numbers are relatively similar, but Chris Bosh never got any credit. What makes you think if Pau Gasol would have switched with Chris Bosh that he would have gotten the credit? So back in 2009, LeBron James did make it to the finals because he lost to the Orlando Magic. So Dan Gilbert and the Cavs staff went out and got LeBron James some help. On February 17th, 2010, the Cavaliers traded for Antoine Jamison, who has a career average of 18 points per game. In 2008-2009, the year before he joined the LeBron James-led Cavs, he averaged 22 points per game. And you may discredit Antoine Jamison, but guess what? His numbers are very similar to the both Pau Gasol and Chris Bosh. So if you discredit him, it will only prove my point that if Pau Gasol would have been discredited if he played with LeBron. But notice Pau Gasol gets a high level of praise when it comes to playing with Kobe Bryant, who was Kobe Bryant's only all-star at that time. Just like Pau Gasol and Chris Bosh, Antoine Jamison was an all-star before he joined the Cavs. So let's just get into the mind of Dan Gilbert. When LeBron James wanted to leave, Dan Gilbert was thinking, if I went out and I got you help, then why not stay? You won 66 games the year before. You won 62 games. I got you help. You're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. That Celtics team you lost to and you only had 1 all-star is the same team that Kobe Bryant defeated with 1 all-star himself. So Dan Gilbert is thinking, if Kobe won with 1 all-star against that Boston Celtics super team, why can't you? So was he not being disloyal? But anyway, so to wrap it up, a lot of players in this generation aren't loyal to themselves. So I wouldn't expect for a franchise to be loyal to them. They're not as dedicated to their craft as Kobe Bryant was. And if you get injured, it's business. You got to understand that it's a business. A lot of top level players just aren't loyal. If you're not loyal and putting in the work and being a great leader, then the franchise isn't going to be loyal to you. You know, just think, after all the rape allegations and the way the mainstream media painted Kobe Bryant as this satanic person for being a human, being honest, being an honest person, the city of Los Angeles stayed extremely loyal to Kobe Bryant and is still loyal to him till this day. If a franchise like the Lakers know that you get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and you don't leave the gym until the evening, if a franchise know that you are in a gym shooting the same shots 1,000 times over and over again, if a franchise see that you are so passionate, if a franchise see that you are willing to knock on your teammates' door at 4 o'clock in the morning and tell them they need to get in the gym, let's work. If a franchise see that you have played throughout your career with injuries countless times, torn Achilles and still hit free throw shots, 81-point game, multiple back-to-back games scoring 50-plus points, defeating more 50-win teams than both Michael Jordan and LeBron combined in the playoffs. If you a true professional to the franchise, if you made so many clutch shots time and time again and they reward you for it, then you have every right to say that you bleed purple and gold.